Welcome back to First Take. More breaking news this morning. The Raiders have fired head coach Pete Carroll after one season in Las Vegas. The Raiders will have the #1 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Important to note, Raiders GM John Spytek and Tom Brady will now be in charge of identifying and hiring the team's next head coach. Is this the right decision?
It absolutely was the right decision. I don't give a damn about it. No disrespect to the GM, but I don't give a damn. I want Tom Brady to make that call. Because we all know it's going to be a quarterback who got the #1 overall pick. There's one man that should make this call, and that's the 7-time champion, and it's Tom Brady. Pete Carroll, God bless him. Father Time is undefeated. We say it about players all the time. Sometimes we have to say it about coaches. He looked old. He just looked a bit outdated. It's like there comes a point in time when you're looking at certain people. He's a 2-time national champion. He's a Super Bowl champion as a coach. With the 2 Super Bowls as a head coach. You just got to look at people and sometimes go like this. Yeah, man, the run was good. Yeah. It's over. And that's what I saw when I was watching the Raiders this year. I just said, time's up. Not that he can't coach or anything like that, but today's players, the mentality, the focus, et cetera, et cetera. I just said, a new voice, a new coach.
It's the right decision. The Raiders had consistently the worst tape out of anybody in the NFL. It's the worst roster in football. Yep. And so we can sit here and think that a new coach and having the #1 pick is going to fix it all. It's not. There's one player to really build around. It's Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers. Okay.
And then maybe Genty, and that's still a little bit of like, let's see what you actually are. Max is there, no question. I think they should trade Max. I love Max. He should go to a contender and finish his career. Yes, I agree. They need such an influx in talent. It's remarkable to look at this football team and say, all right, this is going to be a much longer process. This will be their 6th head coach since 2021. So whoever you hire, you better make sure that you're committed to them long term, like literally 3 or 4 plus years. And don't lock in Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana, as the #1 pick. Don't. Really nice player. The Dante Moore young man from Oregon, if he comes out, will absolutely warrant to be selected #1 if they choose quarterback. But this roster needs so much talent.
Well, the big piece was this. They were refusing a rebuild when they hired Pete Carroll.
Remember, 10 wins.
Yeah, Pete Carroll isn't the type of coach. He isn't at the age where you expect that he's going to be rebuilding. That's why you go out and you get Geno Smith and you try to add some of these pieces in free agency. You draft Ashton Genty as a running back at 6 because you expected to compete this year. Clearly, that's not it. So now you have to say and concede, we are rebuilding. You got to find you a coach that can rebuild. You have to have people in the executive offices that understand rebuilding. And you have to have people on your team, not like Max Crosby, who will be comfortable with rebuilding. He's the face of that. He's the face of that franchise. He doesn't play rebuild ball.
He's been rebuilt too much.
He could be destroyed
over and over again. But you can utilize him to get more pieces to add to your roster. Pete Carroll should be gone, but choosing your next coach and what you do with the draft capital you have this year are the most important priorities of this offseason.
I don't agree with letting him go. And my reasoning is, yes, is he old? Of course, but did he have enough time to properly develop his system or implement his system? No, he didn't. So as we're talking about the people who make these decisions, well, I'm getting a lot of looks right now. I don't not like.
They're terrible.
I understand they're terrible, but you make do to what you have. So when I'm saying Tom Brady's making the decisions, right? He's well and qualified to make the decisions. Nobody's denying that. Pete Carroll isn't. It's going to take time.
Yeah, but you know this too, though. It also takes energy, and I'm not, and I am certainly not talking about the energy to move around, the energy to come to work. It takes a different level of energy to understand and to feel that level of sorriness because this team is no good. Pete Carroll hasn't done this, has not had to do this for decades of his life. You need to get someone who is in the mind state of rebuilding because they allow you to draft in the way that you're rebuilding. They allow you to execute roster moves in the way that you're rebuilding. If you're not in that headspace from a mental standpoint, you won't be the right coach to move forward with.
Let me tell you the vantage point I would come from with it if I was writing a column. Tom Brady getting paid $37.5 million a year doing Fox. You see them damn commercials he's doing? Everything is about attention to detail. You know, the motivational stuff that he's doing. The woman in the commercial, great
Avocado
commercial.
ice cream.
In a great commercial and stuff like that, where he's motivating that she's hardcore, she's on top of it, terrorizing grandmas for crying out loud. And then Tom Brady pulls up in the order, way to go. You understand? So pay attention to detail, that kind of stuff, right? They brought you on as a minority owner. You got the #1 overall pick. We know it needs to be a quarterback. I don't get, let the GM make every other pick, but that pick has to be Tom Brady's, period. I got a 7-time Super Bowl champion quarterback as a owner of my franchise who just retired a couple of years ago. He's related to the player. Didn't he work out Shedeur Sanders? Was he motivating them? I mean, this dude ain't in his 70s. Tom Brady's now. You're an owner.
But
you're a quarterback.
I'm going to say this.
You are the one that has to make that pick.
The all-time greats sometimes have a problem.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
don't say Jordan. Don't say Jordan.
I agree with you. But the point is, Tom Brady has earned, and you brought him on as an owner. So just for this pick, I didn't say any other pick. This one right here, the #1 pick, who's going to be a quarterback.
You get yourself in trouble like that.
I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want to hear a damn soul, including Mark Davis, picking the next quarterback for the Raiders. That's got to be Tom Brady. There's not a damn soul that should matter other than Tom Brady for the quarterback. Anything else, fine. But the quarterback, I want to hear one voice. Everybody move out the way. Who you got? Because it's riding on him. This is why I brought you here. This is why I gave you part ownership. Right here, right now. You earning your money. Show me.
They got pick a
I let Mark Davis pick my barber before I let him pick my quarterback.
A barber.
Radio Network. CeCe's guy. Sam Darnold leads them to a big win on Saturday night. The Seattle Seahawks, Denver Broncos, New England Patriots all finished with 14 wins this year, 14-3. Seattle and Denver are your #1 seeds. Of course, they played each other in the Super Bowl years ago, and at the Meadowlands, where Seattle destroyed the Broncos. That would be the odds-on favorite based on 1 seeds to get to the Super Bowl this year. And Seattle has a monster win, #1 seed in the NFC. Now they should be in the NFC Championship game based on the CC preemptive model of whoever is #1 in the NFC has to be in the NFC title game because there are no mega powers this year in the NFC. Thus, less games should be in the NFC title game. Has Sam Darnold proven to us that he could win a big game in a big spot in the postseason and take a team to the Super Bowl, which he will not have to leave home, at least until getting to San Francisco, in order to do?
Well, Saturday was a playoff game, right?
No.
You don't consider that a playoff game?
No.
Fighting for the #1 seed and home field advantage throughout the postseason?
No.
You didn't watch that game and feel a playoff-like intensity?
That's not what you asked. You asked 2 different questions.
Yes.
Playoff intensity, yes. Playoff game, no, because of downside. I'm not eliminated from the playoffs if I lose.
Okay. That's
Last night was a playoff game. Because Baltimore, you saw on the sidelines, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, when that kicker missed the kick, it was like, oh, my God, we fought all the way back to do this, and somehow we were going to get into that spot exactly where we would have been if we had a good season, and it's taken from us. San Francisco didn't have that mentality. It was just, all right, like we had a scenario in which we literally never were going to have to leave home Tampa in 2020 with the Super Bowl there, but I didn't consider that a playoff game, no.
To me, that was playoff adjacent for Sam Darnold. That was a moment where he had a situation where he could win the division and get the #1 seed and exercise those demons from last year. So maybe it might not have been a playoff game for the Seattle Seahawks, but in terms of Sam Darnold being able to build confidence going into the postseason and to prove to himself that this year is not going to go the way that last year did, that was a huge game for him, and he stepped up in the moments that mattered the most. That completion that he had in plus territory late in that fourth quarter to Cooper Kupp on 3rd down, that was exactly what you would want to see from your franchise quarterback to be able to make those types of plays. So even though he didn't have any touchdown passes, like you said earlier, he didn't get in the way. He let his running game do the heavy lifting. Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, those dudes were
3rd and
monsters.
17, 19-yard run was
that was
game changer.
That was incredible. But I mean, I think that the defense and the running game and the special teams have been what has anchored this Seattle Seahawks team. And then, oh, by the way, Sam Darnold creating explosive in the passing game when they need him. And Saturday's win over the San Francisco 49ers was more of the same in terms of the formula that they've used to get to 14 wins this year.
Let me play something out with you guys to kind of really determine the Darnold big game. Can he win one? Is this Seattle team going to live up to being the number one seed?
That was a big game. I don't know.
It was a big game.
You can't dismiss that as
a playoff game.
I think you're looking at that game and saying he did enough for them to win it. And I think his detractors are saying, but he wasn't the reason they won the game. It was the defense and the running game that stepped up.
But I'm also fine with him not getting in the way. Like that's important in a way.
But I think for the Sam Darnold detractors, it doesn't matter that he went 14-3 with the Vikings last year. He crumbled when it matters. It doesn't matter that he went 14-3 with Seattle this year and they got the number one seed in the NFC. Unless he wins a playoff game for the Seahawks, those detractors are going to say that he can't win a big game. They're not going to view it the same way that you do.
So let's play this out.
That sounds ridiculous, though. Like,
I agree.
I'm not proving, like Sam Darnold's got to prove to me that he's a big-time quarterback. He has more wins in the regular season the last 2 years than anybody, and that's across two different teams. Totally. He's got 28 wins. The next closest person is Josh Allen with 25, and Josh Allen has an MVP during that span. It's just ridiculous to sit here and box Sam Darnold into the guy that you saw that was seeing ghosts.
Oh, he's a different player. Absolutely.
He's a different player.
I'm done doubting him, but I'm just telling you what the detractors will say. They'll say defense and the emerging run game are the reasons why Seattle won. I'm not going to give it to Sam Darnold. And I still, in an actual playoff game, need to see him step up and get the job done.
Okay, not holding either of you to anything here. We can change as the week goes on. But quick gut, because I want to play something out. Chicago, Green Bay, 2-7. Who wins?
Green Bay.
CC? Just
Chicago.
Quick gut. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. We'll come back to that. Philly, San Francisco.
Philly.
Okay, so and Carolina and the Rams.
Carolina. I just wanted to happen really bad.
Some people just want to see the world burn.
Nah, I'd pick the Rams, but I want to see Carolina win it.
Okay.
Man, if the Rams lose that game, though, you lose to them again?
That'd be amazing.
Okay, but more so
Yeah,
then
they've already
based
done
on
it.
this, and not holding either of you guys to this, because you haven't dove into the matchups yet. We're not there yet, right? So I'm not holding either of you to that.
Okay.
But based on this exercise, Seattle would either face Green Bay or the Rams, because both of you have Philly beating the Niners. Do you think that at home?
I think they beat both of them.
Really?
Yeah.
That defense is unbelievable.
Yeah.
If they don't, do the detractors, I would be labeled one of them, have a leg to stand on? You just dismiss the idea of them losing to Green Bay or the Rams.
Hold on. So if they win it, so you're saying in the divisional round,
that'd be their first playoff game.
That'd be their first playoff game.
Based on how you guys just laid it out.
If they win that game.
No, if they lose that game, what are you going to say about Sam Darnold?
If they lose to the
It
Rams.
depends on what it looks like. If they lose that game 35-38, I mean, and Sam Darnold throws for 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, I'm not going to kill Sam Darnold.
Yeah, what if he balls out of his mind and they lose the game?
They lose the game. That's entirely possible.
What if it comes down to a final drive? And
what if it comes down to a missed kick?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold leads what should be the game-winning drive, and then Jason Myers misses the kick.
Right.
So are you ready to definitively then say he is a big game quarterback or he is en route to being?
Jason Myers had a terrible game on Saturday, by the way. They've been able to rely on him in their kicking game. That was, I don't know, didn't feel great about that. But go ahead.
So is he a big game quarterback or is he en route to being a big game quarterback?
I think he's en route to being a big game quarterback. I'm not there yet, but Saturday's win was a step in the right direction to go on the road against a division rival with those stakes and find yourself on the winning side of it versus a quarterback, a head coach, and a general manager that everybody is seemingly sold on against a team where everybody is saying this is Kyle Shanahan's best coaching job. To be able to get that win in that building, that's impressive. I don't understand how you can't be impressed with Sam Darnold being able to get the win. He didn't turn the football over. He made winning plays, winning throws. His team won the game, and yet everybody seemingly is still underwhelmed. He outplayed Brock Purdy head-to-head. Everybody is still underwhelmed.
Because I think a lot of people say he outplayed Brock Purdy because the Seahawks defense was absolutely amazing in that game.
That's a part of it, yeah. That's a part of it.
I'm not ready to say it just yet, but I am so
He's
close.
got that defense because the quarterback is making $20 million a year less.
Yeah. I'm so close. I'm right there. I want to give it to him so badly, but I just know that if that first-round playoff game happens and he looks like he's seeing ghosts and we see what happened in Minnesota last year where he crumbles on the biggest stage, our opinions are going to completely change from what we feel right now. Because right now I'm sitting here and I'm like, he is the guy. 14-3 across 2 teams. He has elevated 2 different franchises to really good spots. And now he's sitting there with the number 1 seed in the NFC and a bye. I'm ready to go there with him, but there's a part of me that is afraid that I say he's the big game quarterback. He's going to go out there. He's going to handle his business, and then we'll see what happened last year.
Well, undoubtedly, he got it done on Saturday night, just like Granger, CC, for the ones who got it done.